It's the NFL on EA Sports. And we've got the Vikings superstar running back. He comes into this one second in the league in rushing with an eye on becoming number one. It's the Vikings and the Bengals, and it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 25.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gardner. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can buy for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
They go play action with Burrow. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now they go play action now. Burrow. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Burrow looking to pass. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Burrow will throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Brandon, we saw these defenders fly into the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
And this one is right through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win. So
I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run again with Peterson. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's a screen to Powell. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Daniel wheeling on now to punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded at the 20. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on a 6-yard return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. The quick throw by Burrow is complete. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. They were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
This now a 3rd and 4. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. Now it's Burrow. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Offense was moving a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now it's Burrow. And he comes back with 1 complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. This defense for the Vikings, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've got a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
First connection there of the afternoon for those 2, and it's good for a first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run supported. I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now Burrow. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Washington. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Well, they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Here's Burrow. And it's caught. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Jamar Chase, his 5th touchdown now on the year. As as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Brandon, what we just saw there were two guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So that drive, 12 plays in length.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Vikings offense led by their running back headed out for the second possession. And he continues to be a nuisance for opposing defenses that are tasked with trying to slow him down. He's currently second in the NFL in rushing. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they are over 500 for the season, 4-3. They got back above 500 with a victory last week. And, Charles, you think this is a very important week for them, do you not?
I certainly do, because when you start to do the math, and yes, I'm using my fingers to count. If you're 4-4 at the midway point, let's say you're saying 10 wins is your cutoff line for a playoff berth. It's usually right around that number. A loss here, all of a sudden you've got to go 6-2 down the stretch just to reach 10 wins. That means this game is vital.
That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Flag comes in. This might be a free play.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. Sheds off the tackle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
McCarthy off the play fake. Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
You got to know as a quarterback that it's going to be tough to outthink this guy in the defensive backfield. He's been at it 11 years now, so he knows all the ins and outs of the position. And he's in the right spot there to come up with the interception.
So here are the Bengals set to take over. They've dropped 4 straight games coming into this one, remember, but they have the lead here.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at the 31-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
On the slant, complete to Green.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Chase, the motion man right.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
It's a gain of 6. First down, Cincinnati.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
They'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
First down, Bengals.
Back to throw now on first down.
To the right side and intercepted. And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that is something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half, because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
And now out comes Minnesota.
They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. They start the drive with Peterson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
Now the ball comes loose.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
On first down, though, puts it on the carpet. It's out.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side is good.
And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
It's not exactly round and round we go, but I'm looking at the poor defenses. Back-to-back possessions, the ball's turned over.
Back-to-back plays.
I mean, just that quickly, and you think you're going to the bench to get a little break, and all of a sudden you're hearing sudden change, get back out there, grabbing your helmets and running back out on the field. I don't think it's going to affect them much now, but if this keeps up, you're going to have two very angry defenses. You don't have the offense to take care of the ball.
Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Looking for the out route, and he's got it. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
That's good. For the Vikings, first down.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy.
That's good. And now look at this. Big gain, but fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust.
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take the blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack.
Previous
So
play
what
is
they're
under
seeing
review.
so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Looking to throw McCarthy. He's into space past the 25.
And finally marked down 23.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
At the 23-yard line.
Now McCarthy. Finding Hawkinson here on the out route.
And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Peterson. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Throwing is McCarthy.
And it'll be intercepted.
And the Bengals are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far. And they just threw some away on that snap. And let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
And they've had success, at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
50 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They're going to look to throw.
This pass complete to Higgins. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's 2nd down.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. 2nd and 7.
He'll drop to throw.
And that one complete once again to Higgins. And Higgins is going to have a Bengals 1st down as he's up to the 43.
A gain of 7. 1st down, Cincinnati.
He'll look to throw.
And a short pass pulled in by Washington.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
2nd down in the yard.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chase.
The 20.
He's still on his feet.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD.
Jamar Chase
with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Bengals add 6 to their lead. Well, only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. That time, a 6-play drive.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. To the air with McCarthy. That is caught. And
tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one.
That would tipped and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively. And second down. McCarthy operating from the gun. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. McCarthy going to throw again. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And it's the Lions who are out in front as they play the second quarter. Jared Goff has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head down south to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. Dak Prescott lighting it up. He's got 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. The Pats try and hold on and claim victory. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A very one-sided first half, 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Vikings offense and J.J. McCarthy getting ready to go back to work. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
They run again on first down. Peterson. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Here's McCarthy.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
A 10th carry now for Peterson. And he's got this down to the 35.
56 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
This one caught. It's the tight end Hawkinson.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A well-executed 22-yard gain. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's second down.
7 yards left for second down. Ball at the 10.
Looking to throw.
McCarthy.
And he will find his man on the outside.
And the Vikings are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Operating from the gun.
McCarthy.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half.
That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bengals offense and Joe Burrow getting set for this next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
And you can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Burrow will throw.
And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line.
Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's fourth down.
Now here's Michael Dixon. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the check on bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback.
The Vikings ready to go again on offense. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Again, Peterson.
To about the 35, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Still going. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards.
That last throw, Charles, is going to move him past 32,942 yards passing for his career, and that surpasses the total of the Hall of Famer and a colleague of both of ours, Troy Aikman.
Yeah, played from 1989 to 2000, and Troy Aikman, he was about winning, because remember, he had Michael Irvin to throw it to. He had Emmitt Smith to hand it to. Just imagine if he was throwing it the way they throw it around nowadays. His numbers, boy, would they be sky high.
And they'll try again here, first and goal after the false start. Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal. On play action, McCarthy. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't it?
He really does. And I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. It connects quickly to Jamar Chase. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, second and 3. Now it's Burrow. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get him off the field with a 3 and out.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7. Second down and 3.
The gain of 7 brings up second and 3.
On play action, now McCarthy. Open man, he's got him to tight end Hawkinson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. Back to throw. McCarthy. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one good for 37 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done? But they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 to 27. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Gets by him at the 25. Yeah, boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Open man is Chase complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Burrow. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. They'll send Green in motion left. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 72 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've got 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator is going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try to make a big play. And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And some room to roam now. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up the 3rd down. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. They'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he will be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it. Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First, on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop them. I like the confidence he showed.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
A nice little juke. And we tackled right on the midfield logo.
They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. Flag comes in. This might be a free play.
That's down the field for Jefferson. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are right back in this football game.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark
Still
off
third
the
down.
5 and keep it moving.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll give to Peterson out of the gun. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're talking about thinking about it.
D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Here's Peterson. He's got it on the draw. That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 120 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Peterson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
They run over center with Peterson. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
On gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and 1.
A big play in this football game. 3rd down and 1. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
They'll run with Peterson. And for a few times here today, this one's not going to go anywhere.
Partner, you got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
3rd down and goal coming up here. And that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals have just about sewn up this football game.
That puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Here's 3rd and 10.
Going back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Gets around him. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. And he's got a first down as he's tackled inbounds at midfield. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for
Neutral
Joker.
zone infraction. Defense.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error.
Still first down.
alert. Don't jump early and give them free yardage.
So after the penalty, a break. 1st and 5. They'll look to throw. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to tie things up in the final minute. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
We so often think of these kickers as automatic at any distance, and it's just not the case because when you start talking about 50-plus yards, that's still a tough one to connect on. This one ends up no good, and that should put to rest any chance of this game getting to overtime.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals, and it was a bit